Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram. Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambujanmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Graseka Karmani. Continuing the discussion on the argument by the nihilists, Shunyavadinaha. The argument put forth by the nihilists is, in the beginning there was nothingness only. And just like the Vedantins hold the view that the entire creation is none other than Maya Kritam. Mayaya Kritam, Maya Kritam, created by the power of Maya. What it has created? Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. The world in the form of names and forms. In the same way as Vedantins, we also hold the view that Maya is the cause for this creation, and there is no need for an independent entity called Brahman for the creation to come into being. While Vedantins hold the view that Maya is a power, it is not an independent existence. Just like I as a person has the ability to speak, Vak Shakti, cannot stay independent of me. Also, unless I express it, you will not know that I can speak. Karyaya eva anumeya bhavati. By the effect alone, Maya is known. The effect being creation. Only when you look at the creation, you come to conclude that there is a power called Maya, which has manifested this entire universe. Just like a person who is capable of speaking, only when he speaks, you know that he has the power to speak. But it is a fact that even as that person does not speak, he still continues to exist. Before the speak also he was. While speaking, you know that he can speak. And when he stops speaking, the ability to speak has got merged into him until he speaks next time. Unmanifest. That is why it is called Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shaktihi Anadya Vidya Trigunatmika Para कार्यानुमेया सुधियैव माया यया जगत् सर्वमिदं प्रसूयते. Avyakta namni, it is of the nature of unmanifest. At the same time, Paramesha Shakti, it is the power of the Parameshwara. Avyakta namni Paramesha Shakti, Anadi Avidya. It's got beginningless ignorance. These are all the synonyms. Anadi, Avidya, Trigunatmika. It's of the nature of three qualities. Para. Karyanumeya, only through the effect can be known. Sudhiya eva, by the pure and subtle intellect. It's called Maya. Yaya, by whom? Jagat sarvam prasuyate. The whole world has come into being. So if you say the wielder of the power, Maya, does not exist, according to you, there is nothing. So before the creation, there was nothing. And the Maya as the power has manifested. If you are to hold that view, who is the wielder of this power? Cannot be absent. Therefore, in the 49th verse, we saw, Shunyatvam iti te shunyam, Maya karyam iti iritam. If you have said iti iritam, you said that in the verse 34, Maya is nothingness. Nature of Maya is nothingness. Because according to you, there cannot be anything that that can have a positive continuous existence. And if the nature of Maya is a nothingness, how can the effect will be something? For the very simple thing is, from nothing, something cannot come. How can there be something coming out of nothing? So that is to say, the Maya cannot remain as nothingness. Na shunyam. It cannot be shunyam. It cannot be nothingness. Not also it is existence like that of the absolute. Napi satyadrik. It cannot be satyadrik like that of also of the pure existence. So it is tadrik tattvam iha ishyatam. So it is not possible for us to understand the nature of Maya. Maya is neither shunyam nor existence like Brahman. But it is as it is. It's something which is undefinable. Why it is undefinable, indescribable? See, two things we cannot describe at all. One, which never stays in the same condition at all times. You cannot describe it because it keeps changing its characteristics. You cannot say this is how it is. Let us say if something is cold, but suddenly it becomes hot. And something which is heavy, suddenly it becomes weightless. If something is bright and suddenly it becomes dark. So, अब कैसे करेंगे उसका डिस्क्रिप्शन, वर्णन कैसे करेंगे? ये यही ऐसा है, ऐसा वर्णन करने का नहीं हो सकता है. It is not possible. If it is of the same condition only, you can explain this is of this defined nature. Maya ऐसा नहीं है. Parinatmakam, parinatmika, of the nature of constant change. ये पहली बात है. Second one is, it is not independent. It depends upon something for its own existence, and therefore That which has no independent existence, depending upon something else, cannot be said to have its own nature. It's a borrowed nature. Its existence itself is borrowed. Therefore, it cannot be explained as is. So that is why in the commentary also, the commentator here writes, as Gurudev also has said, there is something called absolute existence, another is called relative existence. My shadow, he has a relative existence. Me, I have an absolute existence with respect to the shadow. Because the shadow cannot stay without me. But I can stay without the shadow. When the light is not there, there is no shadow. Or there is a full light here, there is no shadow. Chaya iva maya. Bhagavat chaya eva. It's a shadow of Bhagavan or Brahman. Brahmanaha chaya. So just like my shadow cannot be when there is no light, and when there is a complete, pure, absolute, full flooded light also, there cannot be any shadow. So when shadow has to exist, there are certain conditions should be there. In the same way, the power called Maya residing in Brahman resides only under certain conditions. It has no absolute existence. Therefore, here, just like the pot is a structure of mud only, pot existence is depending upon entirely upon the existence of the mud. And pot was not there before the pot was made, but mud was there. So mud has absolute existence, pot has relative existence. So just because it has a relative existence, its reality cannot be forever. That is the reason why when it exists, it appears to have an existence. And therefore, you cannot say Sat. It is only Vyavaharika Satta, na Paramarthika Satta. Transactional reality, not absolute reality. See, if I'm married, I as a husband, or I as a parent, I as a friend, these are all relative realities. That's why we call relatives, right? Who are all at home. Oh, there are a lot of relatives come to my home for Thanksgiving. Oh, why are you calling them relatives? Why not you call them absolutes? Thank God they are not absolutes, Swamiji. They are only relative. So when I am married, then my wife's brother, wife's sister, wife's father, they are also relatives only, because if my wife is not there, if I have not married her, then who are they? Without my relationship with my wife, there cannot be a father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. They are all what? In-law only, not really. Brother and brother-in-law. Meaning they are not a brother really speaking, they are only connected to my wife. Similarly, me and my father, we are also relative only. Why relative? Because without me, my father was. Before he married, before he got me, before I was born, he was not non-existence. He was. So my birth gave him that. I gave him a title father. But that fatherhood, father is a relative. Me as a son is relative. In the same way, what is that which is absolute and what is that has a relative existence? So Maya has a relative existence. Therefore, you can neither say it is absolutely, nor you can say it is not also. Why? Because experienced. Just like your dream, you cannot say dream did not exist. I experienced it. Though relative. Samsara swapna tulyohi. Even this world is called a swapna only. But let us come to that later. Now, even as you are going through a dream experience, at that time of your dream experience, that experience is real for you. At that point, you never ask, what is this going on here? If you have asked for the question, you would have already woken up. So while you are at the stage of dream, all that experience you experience in the dream has a relative reality until you wake up. So experienced, therefore it has relative reality. So it is real relatively. Therefore, astitva hai, not paramartha astitva. Asatva hai, it is also non-existent because after some time it is not there. So can you say Maya is or is not? So that is why in the next verse, we see verse number 50. Na sadasin no sadasit. Tadanim kim tvabhuttamah. Satyogattamasah sattvam. Nasvadattan nishedanat. Na sadasin no sadasi tadanim kim tvabhuttamah. Satyoga tamasah sattvam nasvadastan nishedanat. So the peculiar nature of Maya, it is said in the Vedic text, in Rig Veda, it's called Nasadiya Sukta. It's called Nasadiya Sukta, meaning explanation about Brahman is beautifully presented. I mean, explanation of Maya is beautifully presented there. Because when the great rishis in their contemplation, in complete quietude of the mind, when they come to look at this entire creation, they realized one thing, that is, this is Baditam. Baditam means what? False. This is false. It has no absolute reality. Though the entire thing appears to be there as though real, it is relative. Now, let me tell you one more thing. I am able to see an object. An object is there, I am able to see. The ability to see that object is related to my eyes. My mind using the eyes is able to comprehend the presence of an object there. So the existence of the form of that object is related to my eyes. If my eyes are not functioning correctly, or if I am not able to use my eyes properly, or the eyes have lost its ability to see, the form cannot be perceived by me. I cannot use any other equipment to see the form of that object. Therefore, the object is related to, the experience of the object is related to eyes. And even as the eyes are open, if the mind is preoccupied, it is the ability to see the object is related not only to the eyes, but it's also related to the availability of the mind. Even as the mind is there, object is there, eyes are open. If I'm dead, of course, when you say that the mind is also not there, you can say, but eyes are open, object is there. Or in a person in coma, his consciousness is not working through the mind. Not mind is occupied. Mind is there. In a person whose mind is occupied, his mind is elsewhere. But in the person in coma or unconscious state, mind is itself is withdrawn. The consciousness is not functioning through the mind. Therefore, mind is not there. Eyes may be open, objects may be there, but no experience will take place. So, therefore, anything other than consciousness has only relative existence. Except Atman, there is nothing in this world that has absolute existence. Therefore, while explaining Maya, I said that Brahman existed even before creation in the absence of Maya. Na asadasid. Before creation, na asadasid. There was no non-existence of the Brahman. The Maya is corroborated by the Vedic text, which purpose there was neither non-existence, and because the Maya has not started to express itself, there is no existence also. Existence of Maya is also not there. But what was there is unexpressed Maya, which is called darkness. Tadanim. That was what was there then? There was only absolute darkness. Kimtu abut tamaha. Tadanim, at that time, kimtu abut tamaha. Tamaha here means darkness. Here darkness does not mean the physical darkness. Darkness here means absence. Sadyogat, in association with Sat, the Brahman, Sadyogat, Tamasaha Sattvam. Even the darkness is seen to be unreal only because of the association with that existence only. Naswataha, not by itself. Maya's existence being dependent on Brahman, it has no intrinsic its own existence. Only with the association of Brahman, its existence is proven. Tad nishedanat, because it is devoid of existence before its expression. The attribution of existence to darkness is due to the association with the existence, not by virtue of itself, in as much as existence is denied to that Maya. The Vedic literature is somewhat abstract in the way they express things. So there was no non-existence in the beginning, because from non-existence, suddenly existence cannot come. Therefore, there was no non-existence. But Maya as an independent existence was also not there. There was only absolute absence of everything, which is referred as tamas. And even the tamas also existed only in the presence of consciousness. Now, let me explain it a little carefully. If I walk into a room and I see nobody, I come to report I didn't see anyone. There is nobody. It is empty. The emptiness of a place or emptiness of a room is also known because I exist. In my existence alone, even the absence is known. Were you there in the class? No. Do you know who were all absent in the class? I don't know. You didn't come for the class, right? Yesterday. Who else did not come? How do I know? Why? Because I was absent. So how do I know who else was absent? See? If you ask me, were you there in the class? Yes. Who were absent? I can say X, Y, Z, all these people were absent because I was present to know their absence. So there was no non-existence. Brahman was there. In the association of Brahman alone, there can be awareness of the absence. Sadyogat tamah sattvam. See? Sadyogat, because of the association with the pure existence Brahman alone, tamasah sattvam, the existence of absence. When a part is broken and it is no more, when you come into this room, where is the part? It's broken. Oh, yesterday I saw it. Now, the absence of the part is known to you because earlier you have seen its presence. If somebody else who has never seen the part before, when he comes here, he will not ask about the part. Why? He's never seen it. Isn't it? So an absent of a part is known to the one, only to that one who has seen the presence of the part before. In the same way, the part like Maya has does not have its own existence. Its existence or non-existence are connected to pure existence, absolute existence, Brahman. Therefore, na swadaha, not its own sattvam, na swadaha sattvam. Tad nishedanat. It cannot be said to have its own independent existence. Swamiji, why are we reading all these things? Why we are reading this is to point out the impact of that statement, ekameva advitiyam sat, Brahma. All things in this world said to have an existence because of Maya, whose existence itself is relative. Therefore, na dvidiyatvam. There is no dvaitam. In Vivek Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya beautifully says, Sannapya sannapyubayatmikano, Binnapya binnapyubayatmikano, Sangyapyanangapyubayatmikano, Mahadbhuta. Maya is Mahadbhuta. Satna, Asatna, na sadasat. Maya is not either sat, existence, nor it is non-existent. Sannapi, asannapi, sanna, na, api, na, asan, api. Neither existence nor non-existence. Ubayatmikano, it is not existence and non-existence put together. That is also not possible. Binna, Brahmanaha binna, other than Brahman also it is not. Brahmanaha abhinna is also it's not. You cannot say Maya exists other than Brahman. That is not possible. Maya is Brahman or Brahman is Maya. That is also not true. And then it is not, part of it is dependent, part of it is not. That is also not possible. Ubhayatmikana. Okay. Sangapya anangapya vyatmikana. You cannot say it is one anga of Brahman. Not possible. Ananga is also not true because it without that being a part of Brahman, it cannot function. Mahatbhuta Maya. Now, why it is important is because anything that you see as Dvitiyam Dvaitam, Brahmanaha Vilakshanam Yat Yat Asti Iti Chet. If other than Brahman, if you think anything else seems to exist, tat mithya eva na satyam kadachit bhavati. That's only of the nature of illusion. It cannot be at any time real. That is why in the next verse, you see verse number 51, Ata eva dvitiyatvam shunyavanna hi ganyate na loke chetra tat shaktyoho Jivitam likyate pratak Ata eva dvitiyatvam shunyavanna hi ganyate na loke cheta tat shaktyoho jivitam likyate pratak. Now you see, Ata, therefore, let me look at the commentary here. Yataha swataha sattvam mayaya nasti atah shunyatva iva mayaya api dvitiyatvam na ganyatehi na eva adriyate ityartah. Atah, thus, therefore, hence, dvitiyatvam, duality, shunyavat na hi ganyate. There is no existence other than Brahman. Therefore, Maya said to be another entity which can create independently Nama Rupa Jagat, which also can be considered as independent of Brahman, is not possible. Like Shunyavat, non-existence also cannot have its own independent existence. See, Shunyam api janati va na janati va. Absence also cannot have its own existence, nor it can be known by itself. Two things. Shunyatvam cannot be known by itself, nor it can be having independent existence other than existence. See, that is why it's interesting. You see, in Sanskrit, a false is called anrutam, anrutam, and truth is called rutam. So, don't speak untruth. What do they say? Don't speak untruth. What do you mean? Anrutam na bruyat. Anrutam na bruyat. No, don't say. What? Anrutam. So, anrutam means for untruth. Because untruth has no existence other than truth. Let me put it this way. Let us say there is a thing happened whatever it happened, and I don't want to tell that to you. So I say something else. Let us say a friend of mine whom you don't like has come into my house. But if I tell you that you won't come to my house, okay, therefore, when you ask, did he come? Oh, no, he did not come. Now, when I say he did not come or he has not come, what I'm telling you is other than the fact that he has come. Now, when do I tell an untruth? Upon knowing the truth, isn't it? Other than the fact when you're saying, that means you are aware of the fact. Without awareness of the fact, you cannot say anything other than the fact. If you're telling untruth, you must have been aware of the truth. If I say, fire is not hot, I can say so to you, fire is not hot. One person was sitting in a park, and there was a dog next to him. And another person came by, and he looked at the dog, and then the person was sitting next also. Does your dog bite? No. So he went and sat next to the dog bit him. He got so upset. You said your dog doesn't bite. Yeah, but it bit me. And that is not my dog. I told the truth only. My dog doesn't bite. I don't know this dog, I don't know. That he didn't say that. My dog doesn't bite. He told the truth. So if I have to tell a lie, I should know the truth. Without knowing the truth, how will I tell you a lie? Okay, this is one thing. Now, when you say lie, that means what? Truth is existing and a lie is non-existence. Correct? Other than the truth does not have existence. It has only vacha matram, vak matrameva. Only in the speech it has existence. It has no real existence. So truth is existence, and anything other than the truth, even if I'm telling you, there is no existence of it. Therefore, it is dvitiyatvam, other than existence, called nothingness, shunyavat nahi ganyate. It cannot be regarded as real like that of nothingness. In other words, dvitiyatvam nasti shunyavat. The otherness, other than Brahman, does not exist like that of nothingness. Because it has no independent existence at all. So in the world also, loke, in this world also, if there is a person, Kshetra means a person who has some ability. Tat shaktayoho, and his ability. A person and his ability or skill. Jeevitam pritak na likyate. While he is living, they are not two different things. The person and his ability are not two different things, because the ability cannot exist without the person. So they are not two entities. So in the same way, Brahman and Maya are not two things. Brahman has Maya as its ability. Therefore, anything that is created by Maya also cannot have independent existence to call it as other. Dvidiyatvam. Therefore, ekameva advitiyam Brahma. This is what is being established here. See, in the path of devotion, Sarvam Krishnamayam, Sarvam Vishnumayam, Sarvam Shivamayam, Sarvam Shaktimayam, ityadi. When they make these kind of statements, we do not comprehend this idea clearly. We think, oh, everything is God. Nothing other than God exists. God here refers to Brahman actually. Now, today in another satsang, I asked this question. When you stand in front of the mirror, what do you see? I asked. What do you see in the mirror? Mirror or yourself? What do you see? So that lady said, oh, when I stand in front of the mirror, I see myself. No, you are not seeing yourself. You're seeing an image of yourself. The mirror cannot show you. Mirror shows only your image. Okay, so when you are seeing the mirror, you are not seeing the mirror. You're seeing the image in the mirror, which is you. In the same way, when I go to a temple, Krishna's temple, let us say, when I look at the form of Krishna, which is made of stone, I'm not seeing the stone. Or Shiva. Bhagavan Shiva is sitting there, the form of Shiva is there. When I'm looking at that form, I'm not saying Shilaya Namaha. Oh, stone. I'm not saying, I'm saying Shivaya Namaha. Why Shiva instead of Shila? Though made of Shila, meaning stone, but I'm not seeing the stone there. I'm seeing Shiva. And who is that Shiva? Who is that form there? Mama eva. Mama eva. Or mine alone. Abhasa matrena. Mameva. Ahameva. Abhasa matrena. Abhasa bhavena. My own image. My here means not me, in this physical body here. Brahmanaha abhasa bhavena. Abhasa rupena. It is that very Brahman which is residing in my own heart is being seen in an image by me in that form. Just like you stand in front of the mirror, even though you are looking at the mirror, you are not looking at the mirror, you are looking at your image, even as the image is none other than you yourself. So therefore, just like in the case of a person, his ability, they are not two different things, because the ability of that person cannot stay independent of him. Na loke chetra tat shaktayoho jivitam. While that person is alive, they are not considered two. Na likyate, pratak na likyate. As two different things is not seen. So Brahman and Maya are not two different entities. Brahmanaha Maya, of the power called the Maya of the Brahman, which is considered as what? Sarva Bhutanam Yoni, the womb of the whole existence. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, Mama Mahat Brahma, Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma, Tasmin Garbham Dadamyam. Sambhava Sarva Bhutanam. I am the one who is giving the reality or the names and forms of the entire universe by my presence in the yoni there. So any kind of idea or notion of duality is false. It has only relative reality. Now somebody may argue, is it not true that a person's ability can bring more validity and value for the person? Is that true? Now see, in the next argument he says, Shaktya-dhikye jividam chet. Vardate tatra vriddikrit. Na shaktihi kim tushtatkaya. Yuddha krishyadikam tata. Shaktya-dhikye jividam chet. Vardhate tatra buddhikrit vriddikrit. Na shakti kim tu tatkaya yuddha krishyadikam tata. Somebody may argue saying that in the increase of the ability, Shakti adhikye, adhikatve, Shakti adhikatve, Shaktya-adhikye, on the increase of the power, leading to Jivitam, a long life. Jivitam vardate. The Jivitam, the longevity is increased. So if one is saying the prolongation of his life is due to increase in the power, it is not the power that has caused the longevity. Tatra vriddikrit, the one who causes the vriddhi, the increase, na shaktihi, it is not the shakti. Kimtu tat karyam, it's only an effect. Yuddha krishyadikam, like war, agriculture, etc., are possible only when that power is used, utilized by that person. By ability by itself cannot do anything to that person until that person is using that power for that purpose. On its own, it doesn't. If I have the physical strength, and there is a, you might have seen the karate and all this, they put a stone or a wooden thing. So this boy is learning, father is very proud, my son is learning karate, taekwondo, karate, all right. And he said he learned so many tricks, of this, fighting skills. Oh, is it so? And ask him to demonstrate. Now, that boy was in front of him, put a stone, bricks. Now, see, my son, how he has learned. Now, that fellow, that boy, he's reluctant, he is tired. Mom, Dad, why are we to demonstrate to Swamiji? Swamiji wants to know how you do. Now, unless he uses that power or the skill, can he break that stone or the table? So his skill by itself does not break that stone. He has to use it. It's only karya, effect. Shaktya-dhikye jividam ched vardate. If you think that longevity or any other such effect of that is happening because of the power itself, tad vriddikrit na shakti, not the power. Kimtu tat karya. Not that kaya. I said just karya. That's that karya. And so, in the case of a war, or in the case of a person who has got a beautiful, field filled with so much of, various plants and other things he has put, paddy is growing, and this, all that are growing. Oh, he's a very great, farmer, but he never worked on that field. Will there be a yield there. There can be any prosperity out of that field, even if he knows farming, unless that ability to do the farming is expressed, there cannot be any prosperity there. Or a person who has the ability to fight, if he does not take his sword and fight, how will he win the war? So the power by itself cannot be the cause of the result. The power is bringing an effect only when the person who has the power uses that power. What does it mean? That means that power is a power only because of the one who is holding the power. Now you see, the consciousness in us, Atman in us, is never affected by the power it has. Even if he does not use that power, he still exists. A farmer or a soldier, even the soldier knows how to use his skill to destroy the enemy. Or a farmer, he knows how to tile the field and get the paddy or whatever yield out. If he doesn't do it, you mean to say he doesn't exist? He can exist without the power. The power cannot exist without him. See, Gurudev used to give this example. When a car has a gas, the car, when it uses the gas, it starts to move. So you cannot say gas is what makes the car move. True. But gas cannot move. Otherwise, all gas stations will be moving only all the time. Why? Gas is moving. Gas does not move. The car that knows how to use the gas is able to move. And the car can exist without the gas also in one place. You cannot say car without a gas doesn't exist. It exists. But the gas can express itself as the ability to move a vehicle, cannot by itself do it. Otherwise, all gas stations will be on the move. The gas with the car, using the gas as the fuel, is able to move the vehicle. In the same way, Brahman and Maya is here equal to that of the gas. Brahman is the car or the owner of the car, driver, whatever it is, the whole thing. Unless that power is used, that power is useless. It has no independent existence. The pure consciousness exists without any reason or any dependence on the power called Maya. But Maya cannot do anything without the presence of Brahman. So therefore, understanding this very clearly, Sarvata Shakti Matrasya Naprataganana Kvachit Shakti Karyam Tu Naivasti Dvitiyam Shankyate Katam Sarvata Shakti Matrasya Naprataganana Kvachit Shakti Karyam Tu Naivasti Dvitiyam Shankyate Katam. So in this section, very clearly, Sarvata, Sarva Bhavena, in all different ways, Shaktim Atra Asya Na Pritagganana Kvachit. Atra here, Asya Brahmanaha, that's which is substratum, Shaktim, the power, Pritak, as a different, Ganana Na Kvachit, should not be considered as independent at all. Shakti Karyam, the effect of that power, to naivasti, it is not there at all before the creation. Namarupa Jagat creation comes out of Maya, no doubt. But until the Maya is used by that Brahman, there cannot be any creation at all. Before the creation, Brahman existed as pure existence. There is no creation at all. That's why Bhagavan has said, Mayadhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Hetu nanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. In Gita. Maya adhyakshena, Maya by my, adhyakshena supervision, Maya adhyakshena prakritihi Maya suyate creates sachara acharam. Creates both the moving and unmoving. Maya adhyakshena prakritihi suyate sachara acharam. Hetu nanena kaunteya. O Kunti's son, anena hetuna. Due to this very cause, Jagat, the world, parivartate, is going around. Anena mayaya. Maya adhyakshena anena mayaya. Jagat srishtihi. Jagat vartate. Tasya leenatvam api maya eva kritam. By me alone, even the leenatvam, layatvam, absence, dissolution. So, srijami visrujami, punah punah. Bhagavan says, I will create and I will withdraw also, again and again. What do you withdraw? He doesn't withdraw nama rupa. He's not removing nama and rupa. He will remove maya. Finished. He's not going to destroy one by one. Okay, mountain go. Sun, you go also. The moon, you go also. The wind, you leave. You water, you leave. Fire, no. Withdraw maya. Finished. See, when you go to sleep also, will you shut down one by one? Let me stop hearing now. Step number 2, let me stop seeing now. Number 3, let me stop walking now. Let me stop not breathing. Then you want to. Let me stop seeing. Let me stop hearing. Let me start talking. Let me stop this. No. Once you withdraw yourself, everything of an outer expression shut down. It's better than our shutdown, huh? COVID shutdown. Nobody wants to shut down. Maya is withdrawn, everything comes to a standstill. Dissolution. So, Shakti Karyam na eva asti. There is no Shakti Karya, there is no Maya Karyam before the creation. So, Dvitiyam Shankyate Katam. Why do you, then how do you assume a duality at all here? Where is the duality? Where is the question of Dvitiyatvam? That is a Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma. That is what is again and again proven here. Advitiyam, there is no duality at all. The Maya Karyam Jagat is withdrawn as soon as the Maya is withdrawn. And again, Maya cannot have independent existence. Therefore, Dvitiyatva, there is no question about it. Socho. Think. These ideas are given to us only for contemplation, not argumentation. There's nothing to argue here. As you start seeing the logic, the way steps and step by step he is proceeding, Shunyatvam is discarded. There is no possibility. Then Dvitiyatvam is now being discarded. Ekatvam is being established. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.